Guess what happened right at 8:30, right at prime bottom of the hour channel switching time? Guess what happened, Brian?
I don't recall the order of events.
2 nationally unknown young lady wrestlers were on their way to the ring on TNT at 8:30. After a 30-minute fucking tag team match where they did it backwards. So this show already was in the fucking drink. But, I mean, talk to me about the fucking tag team match.
I mean, I'll repeat what I said, I think, last week. I'm finally interested in Adam Page. They still haven't explained exactly what this dynamic with him and Omega is. I said it last week. It just seems like Adam Page has a drinking problem and Kenny's his sober friend, hoping that he somehow can get him back to being the person he was. And new tag team champions. In terms of the overall picture, it does create an interesting dynamic where the team that everyone thought would be the champions coming into AEW, the Young Bucks, now they're, I guess Adam Page is also in their elite group. Now 2 other members of the elite of the tag team champions, so where does that lead you? Despite what you think of the individual wrestlers, it is an interesting dynamic. It's just the booking doesn't always explain everything or why things are happening or where things are going. But well,
now that you brought it up all like that, all right, but anyway, here comes, we finally get to see Priscilla Kelly, the tampon girl. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, she pulled what was purported to be her used tampon out at a show in a dive bar and shoved it in another girl's mouth to get on the internet. This is who they're hiring over on TNT.
Darby Allin's wife.
Well, there you go. So nepotism and all the other isms. I said earlier that after seeing Priscilla Kelly, Tony Storm looks like Chigusa Nagayo, Britt Baker morphed into Mildred Burke. They have, Britt Baker has, I think, pretty much been winless as a single on their air. And Priscilla Kelly has never been seen before on national television. And they start them out at 8:30 and then immediately go to a break after Priscilla Kelly. And this is where the first thing I wrote, Priscilla Kelly can't lock up. The first move of the match, when she goes to lock up with Britt Baker, I swear to God, she would have been screamed at by Dr. Tom Pritchard in wrestling school. The girl couldn't lock up, and here we go, and now we're going through a break. And on the other side, it was bad indie girl wrestling. And finally, Britt Baker gets a win over somebody that's not even ready to fucking work spot shows on this national television program. I've been championing Britt Baker. She's an American. She speaks English. People will actually like her, not like Riho. She is attractive and she's professional and she can do PR because she speaks the language, unlike Riho. She's a dentist and a professional woman, gives the young girls somebody to look up to, play off of this, get mainstream publicity. What do, Brian? They're not only switching her heel, they didn't tell her how to be a heel. Have you ever seen anybody twisting in the wind on television on an interview like that in your life?
Literally in the wind.
In the wind, on a boat. And by the way, I guess we should have mentioned, yes, they're on the Jericho cruise. The boat, the 60-mile-an-hour winds. If the WWE was going to do a wrestling show on a boat, it wouldn't have looked like this. For any other promotion to do a wrestling show on a boat, that's a cool thing. But when you're a promotion that's saying not only you're going head to head with the WWE, but you're going to kick their ass before you ever even get on the air, that's what they were saying. No, this looked like a wrestling show on a boat, not like a WWE event on a boat would look, is all I'm saying. And the fact JR came wear his fucking hat, the wind's blowing. And it was like, Tony, I don't know, Tony Schiavone's voice sounded shot. He has too many jobs, I think. He's wearing himself thin. She not only says he was a shitty barista at Starbucks, apparently we can say shitty now on TNT, and there wasn't there one or two goddams. But this was a bad wrestling school promo that you would take somebody off the street and say, act like a wrestling heel, And this is what she was doing. Not only was it not in any way realistic, or where did this come from, or what the fuck after the past 4 months, why she's suddenly this bitch, but it didn't make any sense, and she never got to a point. It was like they had told her something. She went completely blank, started trying to be a heel, had no idea how to. And right in the middle of her meandering, JR says, well, we don't need to hear any more of this. We'll be right back. And it's a taped show, and they still cut it off. What the fuck? I felt bad for her, but why is she in this? Why did they even bring this girl into company? If they're going to, the only marketable female that they've had, that they could have started with, that they've beat her to death with all the Japanese schoolgirls. They've made the other American girls are now more impressive than she is because they've had better showcases. She finally gets a win, but now they're turning her heel, and she doesn't know how to be one. And somebody finally gets a fucking promo. Oh, God damn it. Anyway, we're 45 minutes into this fucking thing. And that's what we've seen.